friends, it's me, Katie. I am just starting my day because it's noon, so I should probably start my day. So I just thought I would do a quick yoga practice to get things going, and why not invite you all in? So this will be, I think, about 30 minutes unless I get carried away with myself, but yeah, so let's just go ahead and get started. You won't need any props if you do have blocks at home. I think it's never a bad idea to have them handy, but I won't cue with anything. So let's just start in a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged or kneel or just whatever works best for you. Sit up nice and tall, close your eyes. Rest your hands in your lap. Bring your hands to your heart, or one hand to your heart space, one hand to your low belly, whatever works for you. And take just a moment to set an intention for your practice. Sometimes I like setting intentions, sometimes I don't. If there is anything that resonates for you or that speaks to you in this moment, just take some time to kind of wrap your thoughts around it. Maybe come up with one word that sums it up, one word that can bring you back to your center, to what you're aiming towards or what your focus is. And if there's nothing in particular, that's perfectly fine. When I don't have anything in particular, then I'm just open. I just let my intention be openness. Next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can. And think of breathing in your intention, filling your body up with it. Hold. And then big audible sigh, let it go. And let's do that one more time just for good measure. So inhale, fill up. Come back to your intention. Feel it, embody it, seal it in. Big exhale, sigh out your mouth. Seal your lips gently now and start to bring in your Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose, gentle constriction in the back of your throat. And start to create that whisper noise, that oceanic sound. Sometimes I like to think of it as wind moving through trees. So start to hear your breath as it moves through you. And then once you've kind of found a flow and a rhythm to your breath, just start to bring movement into your body, no right or wrong. So maybe it's reaching your arms up and bringing your hands to your heart. Maybe you take some seated cat-cows, so you kneel to arch your spine, exhale to round. I even like to circle my torso all the way around. So just whatever feels good, intuitive movement, creative movement. And I encourage you to keep your eyes closed so you do not worry about how you look. Just focus on how you feel and what your body feels. Side body stretches might feel nice, neck circles might feel nice. So this is your time. Do what works for you. Give yourself about 3 to 5 more big deep breaths. And see if you can just start to notice, where does your body feel a little stiff or a little tight? And where do you feel especially open or maybe especially strong? Is there any place inside of you where you feel like your breath kind of gets stuck? Where you feel a stuckness? And how can you change that? How can you adjust so that your breath moves into those stuck spaces? So start to kind of wrap up your movement here, but no rush. And then when you're ready, meet me in a tabletop position, hands and knees. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. I like to take my knees out just slightly wider than my hips. On an in-breath, reach your right arm out to the right and all the way up to the sky, gaze up. Exhale, thread your right arm underneath you, reach through as far as you can and come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. My personal favorite variation of this pose is to walk my left hand forward and kind of out to the left, then press up onto my left fingertips and really use the strength in my left arm. So my left elbow is lifting up towards the sky, and then use the strength in my left arm to leverage the twist I feel in my spine. So it's almost like I'm trying to gaze up at the ceiling or up at the sky. It's almost like I'm trying to come onto my upper back rather than the outside of my shoulder. And there's lots of different ways to take this pose, so do what will serve you best and give yourself about 3 more breaths. And especially in this posture, can you feel your breath expand into your back body, create more space in your back body? And if you do happen to have your left hand or even your left knee lifted, bring them both back to the ground. Next time you inhale, unthread your right arm. Reach it all the way up, follow with your gaze, gaze up. Exhale, bring your right hand down. And in between sides, let's take a downward facing dog. So fingers spread really wide. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and lift your hips. Give yourself a few deep breaths to walk it out or explore movement. So it might feel really nice to lift one leg up and then the other leg. Might feel really nice to come forward into plank and press back to down dog a couple times. You could even create your own little flow if you want. So down dog, tabletop, child's pose, cow pose, down dog. So many ways to explore, and there's no right or wrong. Especially since you're at home, nobody can see what you're doing, so just do whatever you want to. Do what feels good. Take about 2 more deep breaths. End of your next exhale, set your knees again gently on the ground. We'll take thread the needle with our left arm. So inhale, left arm out to the left, all the way up. Exhale, thread your left arm through. Reach as far as you can, so like you're trying to get your left shoulder to line up with your right knee, and then go wherever you want to go. If you're coming with me, right hand walks slightly forward and out to the right, lift to your right fingertips, right elbow faces the sky, and then press your right hand down and leverage the twist you feel in your spine. Big breaths into your upper back, mid back, and low back. Maybe notice the difference between your right side and your left side. Maybe there is no difference, or at least one that you could notice, and that's perfectly fine as well. Take one last round. And if you do have your right hand or right knee lifted, bring them back to the ground. Next time you inhale, unthread your left arm, reach it up, try to touch the sky. Exhale, left hand to the earth, and downward facing dog. Give yourself, again, a few deep breaths to explore. So any movement that feels good. Sometimes I like to work with just those little tiny micro movements, those little tiny adjustments that you can't even see with your eyes, but you can feel them in your body. For me, those are the aha moments, especially if you've been practicing for a long time. Your practice kind of changes from those big, huge adjustments to those little tiny micro adjustments that make the big, huge difference. So just explore and always stay curious. Always have that beginner's mind. Take one more big inhale, fill up. See if you can lift your sit bones even higher. Exhale, gaze forward. Empty out, step, tiptoe, or hop. Top of your mat, forward fold. Give yourself a moment here. Feet hips width distance apart or possibly even a little wider. Make sure all 10 toes face directly forward. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it actually is. And then grab opposite elbows, Ragdoll Pose. Let your torso kind of sway or swing, maybe bob up and down. And see if you can send your breath into all parts of your back body, upper back, mid back, low back. See if you can transfer the weight in your feet ever so slightly forward. So if you were to exaggerate that, it would feel like you're going to roll forward and do a somersault. Lift your sit bones and use the strength in your core to keep you on your feet, to keep you from rolling forward. Take one more full breath. Next time you breathe in, halfway lift. So spine parallel to the ground. Get all the rounding out of your back, lots of length. Exhale, fold. If you want to walk your feet closer together, go for it. One more time, halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. This time, lift halfway and just bring your hands to your hips. Now, from the press of your feet, so see if you can press down into your feet so hard that you feel the tops of your glutes pull down towards your heels. So it's, again, one of those little tiny subtle movements, subtle adjustments. Once you feel that, unhinge at your hips, lead with your heart, rise all the way to stand. Take your arms to the sky. Stay here as you breathe in. And exhale, hands to your heart, connect back with you, maybe come back to your intention. Flow with your breath, inhale, high mountain. Exhale, heart guides you slowly all the way down, forward fold. Halfway lift with your in-breath, lots of length. Exhale, fold. From the press of your feet, lead with your heart, rise to stand. So think of your halfway lift and then continue to rise. Tops of your glutes pull down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do one more just like that. So much awareness of your inner body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, slow swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, spinal extension, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet, engage your core. Reverse swan dive to stand. Feel the tops of your glutes pull down towards your heels. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. I need a side body stretch, so let's go there. Inhale, reach up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and pull your upper body up and then over to the right. Shift your hips to the left. Bring more weight into your left foot and see if you can reach your hips further over to the left side of your mat or towards the left side of the room you're in. Maybe even start to kind of hover your right foot above the ground or just get really, really light on your right foot. Pull your left shoulder blade down and back. So try to keep your left shoulder plugged into the socket as you gently tug. Take one more huge breath. Inhale, come back through center, switch sides. So grab your right wrist with your left hand, pull up first, lengthen, and then over to the left with your upper body, hip shift to the right. More weight in your right foot, and your left foot starts to get lighter, maybe even hovers. Breathe down your right side, breathe into the space in between your right ribs. Think of pulling your right shoulder blade back and down. Can you make your breath bigger and take one more full round? Reach, 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 stretch, stretch, stretch. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down, hug shoulder blades towards your spine. Try not to lock out your elbows, especially for women. That's really easy to do. Start to lift your hands, if it's available to you, away from your body, so towards the back of your mat. And then if you want to take it just a little further, knuckles towards the ground, heart towards the sky. Make sure you don't sink into your hips or dump into your low back. So squeeze in with your inner thighs like you're hugging a block. Tone through your low abdominals. Take one more big in-breath. Exhale, release your clasp and slowly dive down. I like to just kind of run my hands down the backs of my legs, but it's up to you. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step back to plank. Take a moment in your high plank position. So really finding strength through your center. Your hips are level with your shoulders, but imagine there's a string attached to your belly button and it's pulling up towards the ceiling. So you feel that little bit of lift coming right from your center. Think of pressing the earth away with your hands and see if you can fire up through your legs. Make your legs feel really strong. Take one more big inhale. Listen here, exhale, lower just halfway down. Come to your knees if you want to modify. Don't let your belly drop. Inhale, press back up. We're going to do 3 just like that. Exhale, halfway down. Think slow motion. Inhale, press back up. And one more. Exhale, halfway down. Strong arms, strong belly, even strong legs. Inhale, press up. Exhale, slow as you can go all the way down to your belly. Don't let your thumbs or your index fingers lift. Pause on your belly. Shoulder pigeon. So right arm reaches straight out to the right with your palm face down, and then roll onto your right side body. Right leg stays straight, left knee bends, and the sole of your left foot comes down behind you. If you're taking care of your low back, take a fetal position with your legs. If you have lots of mobility in your right shoulder, and you can do this without hyperextending through your right elbow, option to bring both feet to the ground, both knees bent, and knees face the sky. Take about 3 more breaths. Soften your face, relax your neck. Breathe deeply. End of your next exhale, slowly come back to your belly and switch to the other side. So you don't have to go just right away to your left side. You might take a moment and just feel your right side compared to your left. When you're ready, left arm reaches out to the left, palm face down. Turn your head to the right and roll onto your left side body. Same options apply with your legs. I didn't say this before, but option with your right arm to reach it up and back like you're trying to touch the backs of your hands together, or you could even just wrap your right arm behind your low back. Big breaths. Press down actively through all 5 fingers on your left hand. So ideally that will keep your left elbow from hyperextending. Soft through your face. Relax your neck. Feel your breath travel down to your belly. Good job, you guys. Take one more full round. And then slowly ease your way back to center. Bring your forehead to rest on your mat. Bring your hands to your low back and interlace your fingers. Before you lift anything else up, lift your shoulders up as high as you can away from the ground. Squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine and try to roll your shoulders down towards your heels. Now, exhale all your air out. Inhale, lift everything up. So chest lifts, legs lift, arms lift. So see if you can lift your clasp up away from your butt. And then reach your knuckles towards your heels. Rather than letting your legs splay out, hug in with your inner thighs like you're holding a block. Spread your toes. Back of your neck is long, so gaze slightly down. Breathe into your belly. Take about 2 more rounds and see if you can lift higher every time you inhale. Hold and breathe. End of your next exhale, release. However you would like to get there, we'll meet back in down dog. So maybe you move through a regular vinyasa, maybe you move through tabletop child's pose, or take a quick round of cat-cow. Eventually, see you back in down dog. right. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Now listen, without opening your hip yet, just bend your right knee and draw your right heel towards your right butt cheek. Flex your toes. Now, see if you can keep everything else completely still and start to draw big circles with your right knee through space. So out to the right, up towards the ceiling, down towards the ground. Fullest range of motion you can find, everything stays still. If you feel like you need to modify, bring your left knee to the ground and do this from your hands and your knees. Squeeze through the back of your right knee like there's a rolled up washcloth there and you're trying to wring it out. Reverse your circles. Keep your right toes flexed and active. Again, fullest range of motion you can find. If you want to make this harder, you're welcome to take your right leg out to straight, circle your right foot. I guess I shouldn't say harder, it's just different. All right, eventually extend your right leg straight back and straight up, three-legged down dog. Take a big inhale. Exhale, right knee to your nose, so round, curl in, hollow out, and then softly step your right foot to the top of your mat. Bring your back knee down gently. I'm practicing on carpet, so I already have some padding. If you need extra cushion, you can double up the side of your mat or even use a pillow underneath your back knee. Bring your hands up to your front thigh. Walk your front foot forward a little bit, just an inch or two. And then try to lean forward with your lower body. Like you want to sit your right butt cheek on your right heel, but at the same time, actively drive your right heel down into the ground and think of energetically pulling it back and up towards your right butt cheek. Tone your low abdominals, lift your heart, stay here or arms to the sky. Stay here or final option, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down, squeeze shoulder blades toward your spine. Start to reach your hands back and then possibly lift your heart up as you reach your knuckles down. You don't want to feel this in your low back, so if you do, come out of it. Go back to the step before. Keep your hips square, your low belly toned, and allow your hips to settle closer to the earth. If you have your fingers interlaced, work that opening in the front of your shoulders and really breathe into the front of your heart. 2 more breaths wherever you're at. Allow yourself to be in sensation. If you have your fingers interlaced, end of your next exhale, release them. Inhale, take your arms to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground. Tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee up. So you're in a strong, stable lunge stance. Left hand stays on the ground or a block. Right arm to the sky, revolve, lunge, twist. Squeeze your inner thighs. Think of pulling your right hip towards the back of your mat, but at the same time, hug your right knee and your right shin towards your left armpit. You can stay here, or to take it a little bit further, here's your option. Walk your left hand off the left side of your yoga mat, crawl it off the left side, and then right fingertips reach way back behind you, and then your heart starts to turn towards the sky. Don't change your legs, so legs stay strong. Think of twisting from your mid-spine. Take 2 more breaths wherever you're at. Twist, twist, twist with your exhales. End of your next exhalation, slowly unwind. Wide-legged forward fold. So both hands over to the left side of your mat. Parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now listen here. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way to stand. Take your arms to the sky. Listen carefully. Exhale, warrior 2 facing towards the back of your yoga mat. So your left knee bends and your left toes face towards the back of your mat. Now your left arm will be reaching forward, your right arm will be reaching back. Find your breath, settle in. Next time you inhale, reverse your warrior. So your left palm rotates up, reach up, and reach back. Option only if you want to take it. Right hand comes up to grab your left wrist, gently tug, gently pull. See if you can create more space down your left side. Keep bending into your left knee. Take about 2 more rounds of breath. Legs strong, right obliques are working. Inhale back to your warrior 2. Straighten out your front leg. Rotate your left toes again. So they're parallel, your feet are parallel and they're facing towards the left side of your mat. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, slow swan dive down, forward fold. Go wherever you want to go for about 4 or 5 deep breaths. So you might grab hold of your ankles or wrap your peace fingers around your big toes. I sometimes like to grab the outer edges of my feet. See if you can get your quads, the fronts of your thighs, to fire up, to engage. And then breathe down the backs of your legs. Next time you inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips on the ground. Crawl your hands again to the front of your mat now. So lunge position into the standing split. So right foot roots down, left leg floats up. Take this wherever you would like. So maybe you keep your fingertips on the ground to help with balance. Maybe you wrap your right arm behind your right leg, press arm into leg, leg back into arm, and use that as a leverage to work your upper body closer to your lower body. If you want to play with handstand hops or heel lifts, go for it. Take a couple more deep breaths. Get your standing leg as straight as you can. And then your floating leg, strong and powerful. Spread through your left toes. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bring your left foot down next to right at the top of your mat, forward fold. And give your right leg a nice little shake out. And then both feet on the ground. Walk your feet out to the width of your mat. Bring your toes out wider than your heels, so my toes come off of my mat. Low squat malasana. Elbows at your inner thighs, hands to your heart. If possible, keep your heels on the ground and try to stay rooted through the outer edges of your feet as much as possible. Breathe. Slow, steady Ujjayi breaths down into your hips, your pelvic floor. Stay broad through the fronts of your shoulders, through your collarbones. Take about 2 more deep breaths. We'll meet back in down dog. So to get there, you can either plant your hands, step back to plank, move through a vinyasa, or option to plant your hands, play with crow pose for a moment. So walk your knees as high up on your triceps as you can. Think of lifting up through your hips, through your waistline, and then transition your weight forward like you're coming into chaturanga. See if you can lift your toes and bring your big toes to touch. Keep lifting from your center like there's a string pulling up on your belly button. Once the love is lost, either set your feet down and step back, or if you're working on a jump back, option to take it here. Inhale to open. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, left heel towards your left butt cheek, flex your left toes. Try to keep every other part of your body completely still and stay in that 3-legged down dog position. Start to circle your left knee through space. Fullest range of motion you can find. And imagine you've got that rolled up washcloth behind your left knee. You're trying to squeeze it and wring it out. If you want to modify, your right knee can come to the ground. If you want something a little different, maybe just a little bit harder, left leg is straight as you circle. Reverse your circles, opposite direction. See if you can really stabilize with your right leg. So try not to let your right hip move in and out. Slow, deep breaths. Finally, extend your left leg straight up, straight back, really long. Big inhale. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Curl in and round. Softly step your left foot through. Low lunge, bring your back knee down. If you need extra cushion, grab it and use it underneath your back knee. Hands up to your front thigh. Walk your front foot forward just a little teeny tiny bit. And start to lean forward with your lower body. So try to get out of a 90-degree angle with your front leg. Start to make it a smaller angle, left butt cheek towards your left heel. Drive your left heel down and energetically pull your left heel back and up. So you want to create what's called muscle energy. Tone your low abdominals. Lift your heart. Stay here if you want, or arms to the sky. Stay here if you want. Final option, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, but then switch them to one finger over, so it's your non-habitual way of clasping. Squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine. If you can, start to reach your hands back. And then final option, heart lifts and knuckles reach down, but don't collapse into your low back. Keep your low belly strong and make sure you can breathe. Big deep breaths, about 3 more rounds. Allow your hips to continue to settle. If you're interlacing your fingers, open through your heart in the front of your shoulders. If your fingers are interlaced, end of your next exhale, release. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up, strong lunge position. Right hand on the ground or a block, left arm up, twist. Squeeze through your inner thighs. Make your back leg strong. So like the power of this pose is literally stemming from your back leg. Pull your left hip towards the back of your mat, but at the same time, your left knee and shin hug towards your right armpit. Reach up like you want to touch the sky with your left fingers. Take one more great big huge breath. Stay here or walk your right hand off the right side of your mat. Reach your left fingertips back, turn your heart towards the sky. Legs stay strong. 2 more rounds. Think of twisting from the center of your spine, opening through the front of your heart. End of your next exhale, unwind. Wide-legged fold towards the right side of your mat. So parallel your feet, straighten out both legs. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet, reverse swan dive to stand all the way up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior 2 facing the back of your mat. So right toes pivot towards the back edge of your mat. Right knee bends. Arms reach forward and back. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Wrap your right butt cheek underneath your body. Try not to push your left hip forward. Next time you inhale, reverse your warrior. Right palm rotates up. Reach up, lengthen, then reach back. Keep bending into your front knee. If and only if you want to, left hand comes up to grab your right wrist. Give it that gentle pull, that gentle tug. But keep plugging your right shoulder back into the socket so your right shoulder blade pulls down and back. About 2 more deep breaths. Breathe into your right side body. Inhale, come back to your warrior 2. Exhale, straighten your right leg, parallel your feet once again. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, slow dive down. Wide-legged fold. Anywhere you want to go. So you can explore with movement, maybe headstand, maybe handstand hops. You can be still and focus on the movement of your breath. Next time you inhale, lift halfway, fingertips on the ground. Crawl your hands now to the top of your mat. Rotate your toes to face forward. Standing splits is next. So left foot roots down, right leg floats up. Wherever you want to go, you've got about 5 breaths. So maybe you keep your hands on the ground just to help with your balance. Maybe you wrap your left arm behind your left leg, hand behind ankle, forearm behind calf, elbow behind knee, and then press arm into leg, leg back into arm. See if you can draw your forehead closer to your shin. If you want to play with handstand hops or lift up to your left tiptoes, go for it. So just stay curious. You don't have to hold your pose completely still. In fact, a pose should never be completely still. There's always that dynamic movement, even if it's inside. Take one more huge inhale. Maybe reach your right leg a little higher. Exhale, forward fold, set your right foot down next to left. Perhaps give your left leg a little shake out. Both feet on the ground. Walk your feet out to the width of your mat. Toes can come out wider than heels. Low squat, Malasana, garland pose. I am going to take a quick pranayama, breath exercise, breath of fire. Join me if you want. If not, just take your big, long Ujjayi breaths. So if you're coming with me, breath of fire is just really strong exhales from your gut. You're using your belly, so you're pulling your belly button in and up, in and up, in and up each time you exhale. Start by inhaling, fill up as big as you can. And exhale to begin. Big inhale, fill up as big as you can, hold. Find your root lock, your pelvic floor lock. And big sigh out your mouth. Fingertips to the ground, hips to the sky. Forward fold, heel toe your feet in, hips width distance apart or big toes touch, whatever you prefer. On an inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. And then one last time, rise all the way to stand. Press down through your feet, tops of your glutes pull down. Inhale, reach up, big full body stretch. Exhale, hands to heart. Flow with your breath. Inhale, arms to the sky. Grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Exhale, side body stretch to the right. Hips move to the left. Empty out. Inhale, come back through center. And exhale, other side as far as you can reach. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, cactus your arms, lift your heart, open up, low abdominals stay toned. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, heart guide you all the way down, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, move through a vinyasa however you want to take it. And either one final down dog, or if you'd rather, you can take a child's pose. So just take a moment, feel your body, connect with your breath. If you're in down dog, one last round. If you're in child's pose, one last round. And then meet in the middle, tabletop. Sit your hips over to either side and find a seat. We'll take a seated hip opener. Your options are as follows. Left leg extended, outer edge of your right ankle on top of your left thigh, both feet flexed. You can keep your hands behind you and use your arms to help you sit up tall. Stay here, or work with a forward fold variation. Hinge at your hips, lengthen through your low back as you fold forward. Other options are bend your left knee, left foot on the ground, and then hands behind you. Rather than rounding your spine, try to lift through your heart. The closer you get your heel to your butt and the closer you get your legs to your chest, the more you will feel this. And then final option is double pigeon fire log pose. So shins stacked one on top of the other. Make sure your outer ankle's on the inside of your knee, not like this, the inside of your calf or shin. And then if you have your knee, if your knee looks something like this, then you're sitting up tall, you're being here, breathing here. If your knee is level with your hip, you can work into your fold. As you fold, think of reaching your butt back, lengthening your low spine. And then you can let your upper back round and your neck relax. Big deep breaths. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. Take about 2 or 3 more rounds. You can exhale out your mouth if you'd like. Slowly, if you're folded forward, start to lift back up. Everybody lean back to uncross your legs. Give them a nice little shake out. Sometimes I like to bring my feet to the ground with my knees bent and windshield wiper my knees from side to side. Feet should be a little bit wider than your hips. And then in your own time, set up your hip opener on the other side. So left shin on top. Or if you did left shin on top, right shin on top, just make sure you do the other side. And this will probably be the same variation, but if this side feels a lot tighter, a lot more open, then do pay attention to that. Maybe you take a different pose, different variation of the pose. All variations, feet are flexed, ankles are strong. So you don't want your ankles twisting. You want to think of them really strong like they're in an ice skate or a ski boot. And then just start settling in, start softening. See if you can take bigger inhales and longer exhales. Take about 3 or 4 more rounds. Exhale out your mouth anytime. And then when you feel pretty even on both sides, I'm going to take about 2 more breaths. Slowly begin transitioning up and out. Legs out in front of you, give them a nice little shake out. And then before we go down onto our backs, one last pose here. So either reverse plank, legs extended, legs zipped together. This will be a little more intense. Modification, reverse tabletop. Feet on the ground, knees bent, feet hips width distance apart. I like my heels just slightly out in front of my knees. Some people like their heels right underneath their knees. Both poses, hands behind you. Fingertips traditionally face in towards your body. If you want to face your fingers out or back, that's fine. It will be more on your shoulders, but less on your wrists. Spread your fingers and press down, especially into thumbs and index. Roll your shoulders back and down, lift your heart. Squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades towards your spine, and imagine you want to press the bottom tips of your shoulder blades through the front of your heart without letting your shoulders roll forward, without letting your elbows lock. Option to lift your hips up. So press into your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips. Don't let your shoulders roll forward. Don't lock out your elbows. Don't let your thumbs or index fingers lift. I like to keep my neck as an extension of my spine. If you want to, you can very carefully, with awareness, let your head fall back. Take one more big breath. Lift, 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 press, press, press. And release, lower all the way down onto your back and hug your knees towards your chest. Gently rock from side to side, massage your low back against the ground. And then from here, supine spinal twist. You can either just let both of your knees fall over to the right, or if there's a different variation you want to take it. Left arm extends out to the left, gaze up or over your left shoulder. Breathe down into your belly. And with each exhale, allow yourself to just settle more, to give into gravity more, to surrender. Maybe you'd come back to your intention, and how could you embody that here? How can you feel it inside your body in this posture, in this moment? Maybe that makes sense to you, maybe not. No big deal if not. And then end of your next exhale, roll back onto your spine. Give your knees a little squeeze in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then other side, legs over to the left, right arm reaches out to the right. Gaze up or over your right shoulder. And you might want to kind of adjust or play with your hips. Make sure there's a straight line from your right shoulder down to your right hip. You can use your left hand on the outside of your right thigh as gentle pressure, gentle leverage. Breathe down into your belly. Slow, steady, smooth Ujjayi breath. When you feel pretty even on both sides with your twist, ease your way back to center. Find a happy baby pose, so soles of your feet face the sky. Grab hold of your feet if you can. If that's too much, ankles, shins, or the backs of your thighs, perfectly fine. Flex your toes, and with your arm strength, pull down like you're trying to get your knees to the ground. With your leg strength, resist. So like you're trying to press your heels up towards the ceiling and even slightly forward. Try to create a neutral spine rather than rounding your back a lot. If you want to rock a little bit or explore a little bit, go for it. I really like to bring the soles of my feet together and grab hold of the outer edges of my feet and pull my feet in, press my knees forward. Feels really good on my hips and tractions out my spine. So just an option. If there are any more poses, any more stretches or movements that you would like to take from here to complete your own practice, please do so. And eventually just begin settling into your final relaxation. as you guys settle into your Shavasana, I have a thought for you, a quote. It's by Jen Sincero. She says, "You are perfect. To think anything less is as pointless as a river thinking that it's got too many curves, or that it moves too slowly, or that its rapids are too rapid. Says who? You are on a journey with no defined beginning, middle, or end. There are no wrong twists and turns. There is just being. And your job is to be as you can be. This is why you are here. To shy away from who you truly are would leave the world you-less. You are the only you there is and ever will be. I repeat, you are the only you there is and ever will be. Do not deny the world its one and only chance to bask in your brilliance." So for these last few moments, just allow yourself to settle, to give your weight to the ground, and to bask in the brilliance that is you. I will leave you here, and you can stay as long as you'd like, just soaking it in. Namaste.